I know, it's time for the No Half Step in Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. Time for operation number 727. Yep, it's up there. Operation 727 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 727. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 5th place in the Central Division. 63 games skated is the least amount of games skated within the Central Division. Overall record of 32-24-7. The Predators have 71 points on the season. On the road, the Predators have a record of 16-13-4, 181 goals for, 185 goals against. That means a goal differential of -5. Now, a couple of races to update as far as standings go. First, let's go Central Division, then we'll talk about the wild card. In the Central Division, it is the Dallas Stars still leading the way with 85 points. The Minnesota Wild just 2 points behind with 83. They have skated in the same number of games. The Colorado Avalanche find themselves in 3rd place with 78 points. They've skated in 64 games. The Winnipeg Jets have skated in 66 games. That is tied for the most in the division. They have 77 points at this time and are in 4th place. Preds find themselves in 5th place at 71 points. Then St. Louis at 63, Arizona at 57, and Chicago at 50. Now, for the Nashville Predators, they find themselves 7 points behind 3rd in the Central Division. Winnipeg is ahead of them in 4th, so they would have to overclimb Winnipeg and catch up to Colorado for an automatic qualifying playoff spot in the Central Division. Of course, 1, 2, and 3 in the division will go to the playoffs, and there are 2 wild card teams. So for the Nashville Predators, currently 7 points behind the Avalanche for the 3rd spot in the Central Division. Now, when it comes to the wild card, Edmonton is leading in the 1 spot with 80 points. Winnipeg has 77 points, and then there's the Nashville Predators with 71. Calgary also has 71 points, but the Preds hold the tiebreakers at this moment in time over the Calgary Flames. So the Predators are the first team out of the playoff picture at this point and 6 points behind the Winnipeg Jets, but the Predators have skated in 3 fewer games than the Winnipeg Jets, so 3 games, 6 points. If the Nashville Predators are able to win those 3 games, making up the difference, they are statistically tied at this time. So the Preds are definitely within reach of the 2nd wild card spot at this moment in time. Now, that takes care of the standings. Nashville Predators' next opponent will be the final stop on the lengthy 6-game road trip. After this road trip wraps up Tuesday, back at Bridgestone Arena, finally after the SEC tournament wraps up and they clean up after the weekend that was truly a tremendous success here for the Nashville sports community. But now the Nashville Predators get to come on back home to their home residency. They'll face off against old rival, the Detroit Red Wings, on Tuesday night. Thursday night, the Blackhawks will be in town. Saturday, the Winnipeg Jets will be in town, but no time to celebrate that one because the Nashville Predators turn around immediately and on Sunday are at Madison Square Garden to face off against the New York Rangers. So another incredibly busy week for the Preds coming up. On the 21st of March, Preds will be in Buffalo, so from Madison Square Garden to Buffalo to take on the Sabres. Now, the next opponent for the Preds is the Anaheim Ducks. It's the Preds' 3rd of 3 final meetings between the regular season between these 2 teams. Let's go all the way back and recap the season series. It was November the 29th when the Preds scored a 2-1 victory versus the Anaheim Ducks at Bridgestone Arena. That came in overtime. Yossi and Sissons scoring the goals. Duchesne 2 assists. Saros 34-35, and the victory. The Preds made easy work out of Anaheim on the 30th of December, the day before New Year's Eve. It was a back-to-back leading into New Year's Eve. Anaheim only scored 1 goal. The Preds scored 6, so 6-1 in favor of the Preds. Forsberg a goal and 2 assists for 3 points. Parson and 2 assists. Saros the victory in that one, 26 out of 27. And we know that UC Saros will get his 3rd start of the season, already 2-0 against the Anaheim Ducks. He'll get his 3rd start because Lankinen, and we'll talk about his performance upcoming, got the start on the first night of back-to-backs. So I've mentioned the Anaheim Ducks in the season series. Let's talk about the Anaheim Ducks overall and their season. It has not been very good. 22-35-9 is their record. 53 points is good for 7th in the Pacific. On home ice, 11-16-2, and they have a goal differential of -98. -98. We go all the way back to March the 1st and recap the last 5 games for the Anaheim Ducks. On the 1st of March, it was a 3-2 overtime loss versus the Washington Capitals. Followed that up on the 3rd with a 3-2 win versus the Montreal Canadiens. On the 7th, a 5-2 loss at Seattle. The 8th of March, a 3-2 overtime loss at Vancouver. On the 10th of March. Their most recent game, a 3-2 win at Calgary. Gibson got the start, picked up the victory, 36 out of 37. So that actually was very beneficial to the Nashville Predators in the wild card race, and the reason why the Nashville Predators are currently ahead of the Calgary Flames. Taking a look inside the rankings in the matchup between the Preds and the Ducks, when it comes to these statistical metrics, not a lot of attractive numbers to see here. Goals for the Nashville Predators, 2.81, 25th overall in the league. That is ahead in this particular matchup between these two teams. The Ducks are averaging 2.5 goals per game. That is 31st, one spot from last in the NHL. In the goals against category, the Nashville Predators are 2.90. They are 12th overall in the league. In the goals against category for Anaheim, 3.98 per game, 3.98. That is 32nd, dead last in the National Hockey League. Shots on nets, Predators generating 30.6 per game. That's 19th best in the league. The Anaheim Ducks are generating 28.8 shots per game on net. That is 29th overall in the league. In the shots against category, the Nashville Predators are 26th overall, giving up 33.5 per game, while Anaheim is giving up an even bigger number, 39.2 shots against per game. That is 32nd, again, last in the NHL. The special teams, power play. The Preds having the 25th rated power play. It's rare that we get to talk about the Preds having a power play that is better than their opponents, but in this particular matchup, it is. 18.8% conversion on the season, while the Anaheim Ducks converting at 16% of the season is 30th in the NHL, and the Anaheim Ducks have only scored 30 power play goals on 187 opportunities. When it comes to the penalty kill, the Anaheim Ducks are also 30th, so 30th in both special teams. 73.2% is their kill rate. They have given up 60 power play goals against on the season. Nashville Predators, a very good and bright spot for this team post All-Star break. The Nashville Predators penalty kill is now surged to 11th overall in the NHL. 81.6% kill rate, 39 power play goals against, and the success that they've been having during this rebuild time with the youth in the lineup and on this lengthy road trip, a lot of the success can be attributed to the strong penalty kill that they've been putting up night in and night out. Injuries are a problem for this Nashville Predators team at this time of year. Forsberg still listed as day-to-day, and it's already been confirmed he is not going to get into the lineup in Anaheim. It is also said the same for Parson, listed as day-to-day, but probably not in the lineup for Anaheim. McDonough, I put a question mark next to his name. He left the game after taking yet another block shot high to the head area. Do not know the update on McDonough's status for tomorrow. Of course, Ryan Johansson is on injured reserve, out for the rest of the season. Carrier is also out for about another month, and there are others that are on. The Nashville Predators are suddenly piling up the injuries. Now, talking about statistics, every team in the NHL has high-skilled individuals. There's no doubt about that, and there are plenty in this game. Despite the records, despite the rankings and the statistical metrics, there are still some incredibly fun players to watch in this matchup. And with the Predators going to the new youth movement, there's certainly a youth tint to this game. Let's talk about the home team, the Anaheim Ducks, first. Zegras, easily one of the most fun young players to watch in the league. If he was on a better team, he would get a lot more television time. 21 goals, 34 assists, 55 points. That leads the Anaheim Ducks in all three of those categories. Terry, 18 goals, 30 assists for 48 points. McTavish, 14 and 24 for 38. Fowler, 9 and 29 for 38. And Henrique, 19 goals, 14 assists for 33 points. In net, John Gibson, always tough regardless of the record for the team. 14, 24, and 7. A 904 save percentage, 3.82 goals against average, and Gibson just defeated the Calgary Flames in Calgary with a big 36 of 37 performance in the last game for the Anaheim Ducks. So you cannot underrate the level of performance that John Gibson can put up on an individual night against you. Cannot take him lightly. For the Nashville Predators, taking a look at their stats, Roman Josi still leads the team in scoring, as he probably will through the end of the season. 17 goals, 39 assists. 39 assists represents number one overall on the team. 56 points, also best on the team. Matt Duchene's 19 goals is tied with Philip Forsberg for first on the team. Matt Duchene also has 32 assists for 51 points. Philip Forsberg still lists as day-to-day, out injured, 19 goals, 23 assists, 42 points, still third best on the team. Glass, 9 goals and 17 assists for 26 points. Tommy Novak now with 10 goals and 14 assists for 24 points. I'm going to give you the netminders stats for both of the goaltenders for the Nashville Predators. Since Lankinen got the start in the first night of back-to-backs, UC Saros will get the second night. Lankinen now 8-5-1 on the season, a .925 save percentage, a 2.46 goals against average, and he has been a very important piece to this Nashville Predators, solidifying that backup goaltending position, and still young enough to make quite the impact on this franchise, perhaps moving forward. UC Saros going to get the start against the Anaheim Ducks. He's started both games against the Ducks already this season. He's 2-0 against Anaheim on the season, 24-18-6, a .917 save percentage, a 2.76 goals against average. Quick turnaround for the Nashville Predators. They had to go extra time, even beyond that, for the first game in LA of this back-to-back on the road trip over this weekend to close out a 6-game road trip, an incredible amount of miles, and it all culminates in one final game at the back end of back-to-backs over this long weekend. LA on Saturday night and Anaheim on Sunday night. Let's go back, though. Let's talk about everything that happened in L.A. Then we'll do some analysis and we'll get you all out the door and ready to watch that game against the Anaheim Ducks. That gets you all set up now. Let's turn it to the Rebirth Sports full game recap. That's coming up next.